Welcome back to the show, everyone. Did you know that you can use clay to add flair to your frames and to your switch plates? Here to show us how to do, we have Amy Wasserman. AmyCrates.com is your website. The medium we're using today is polymer clay. What is that?
Polymer clay is a plastic clay that gets baked in. You can bake it in your home oven. If you do this a lot, you should probably have a dedicated oven. I now have a dedicated oven, and we're going to be making veneers for picture frames or switch plates. And this was the first project I did when I first discovered polymer clay.
And you're saying some of these are upwards of 15, 20 years old, some of these plates we have here.
These two switch plates on the end are probably about 10 to 15 years old.
Wow, that's something. Now, a word of caution before we get started. If you're going to do a picture frame, there's a couple things that we need to know. The first is that you want to put this on first.
Right, you want to put on your hanger, either one of these hook things or screw eyes with wire. And the other thing you want to do if you're doing a picture frame is the sides first before you do the front. But I think it was kind of a pain to do the side, so I would just skip it altogether. Okay. And when you're done, you can just sand it off if there's any clay remaining.
All right, well, let's get started. So you've stacked up here, I'd love to get a shot of it, this polymer clay, and it's a bunch of different colors, and that's going to make it really just shine when it gets started.
This is a very basic cane, which is the kind of work I do, and we're going to make a cane so people understand what canes are. These were a bunch of green scraps I had. I just rolled them all out, and then I stacked them together, and then this is a slice of the cane. Okay, so this is just a little like a cross section. Right, it's a cross section, and then I put it through my pasta maker, and then I just put it right on the frame front.
So this is more or less what we have here in this one over at the corner?
Yes, exactly. And I'm going to show you some of the process that I did to do it.
Yeah.
First, if you're doing a wooden frame, I started with some liquid polymer clay that I just put a very light amount on and spread it with my finger.
Now, is this to help with the adhesion of it?
Exactly.
Okay.
I just figured since wood is porous, it might help the clay to adhere to the frame. So I just squirt a little on, and you can rub it in with your finger.
Now, is this essential? Could we use wood glue if we wanted?
If you don't use the liquid polymer clay, you could use a wood glue after the clay is baked if the clay is not adhering to the wood. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to show a basic cane other than this striped one. All right. You can roll out a couple of colors of clay. Very simply, I have a black and a blue, and you can just cut them away.
And because we're going to be layering them, we want them to be roughly the same size.
They don't have to be. I did for these.
It probably makes life a whole lot easier.
You know, it's just a different look. That's all. That's what's great. So I put the two different colors together, and then I put them through my pasta machine so that the double thickness is now the single thickness. Wow. Yeah. And this is just like making a jelly roll.
Okay, that's my wheelhouse.
Okay. So you can start with either color on the outside, and you just roll it up. You do it so you don't get air bubbles in there. Do the best you can.
Air bubbles probably wouldn't be good when you put it in the kiln.
Well, this doesn't go in a kiln. It goes in an oven.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes they pop. I wouldn't be too concerned because it is such a forgiving medium. And then here you have a basic jelly roll cane, and this is what it looks like when it's done. So when you have these slices, you can put them on just like this and just press it in. That's all I did, was just press it onto the switch plate. You can use anything, if you want to do one.
I was going to say, I'd love to try.
Well, here, just cut off another slice.
Okay, look at that.
And these are kind of thick slices. You can do them any thinness, thickness.
And what we're looking at right now, that's kind of the fruits of your labor. That's the culmination of it when you finish the whole thing up. Now, on plastic, would you put that polymer glue, or does it stick well enough?
I think it sticks pretty well. I mean, when I took one of these switch plates off the wall, unscrewed it, the polymer separated from the plastic, but once I put it back in, the screw kind of holds it on. If it does come apart, you can use a polymer clay glue to hold the clay to the plastic switch plate.
And we're taking a look right now. I bet this is the one that was in your house before you pulled it off.
It sure was.
Looks very cool, easy. And I bet you, once you figured out the polymer clay principle and how to make these canes, the world is your oyster.
It totally. And this is just one aspect of polymer clay. People make figurines, they make flowers.
So you're wearing jewelry right now, your earrings are made of polymer clay?
Right, and this is all cane work.
Really?
Yes.
Easy.
And you can make more involved canes by combining something as simple as the spiral or linear, you know, this, and then you cut it apart, and then you add it to something like this, and you've got a whole different cane.
It's one of those things, once you start it, but you just can't stop it.
You got it.
Next rainy day, this is what everybody at home needs to do. Check it out. Something like this. So easy, so much fun. Amy Wasserman, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
swinging by today.